I just realized I'm wearing the same sweater that I wore in my last video, but I'm too lazy to change. Hey guys, today in this video we're going to be talking about all the different spreads that you can use in your bullet journal to organize your tasks and events and appointments and everything. So we're going to go back to the basics today. There are going to be a lot of different types of pages that I go over today and how to use them. Obviously you don't have to use all of them. You can use a combination of what works for you, or you can use all of them. But yeah, I'm just going to be showing you a couple of options that you have in order to organize your tasks and events in your bullet journal. I'm going to show you the basics of using a yearly spread, monthly spread, weekly spread. We're also going to talk about daily spreads and running task lists, which I've never talked about on this channel before, and it's actually something kind of new to me too. The concept is really great. We're also going to talk about habit tracking. I'm going to show you the different symbols that you can use in bullet journaling to denote different tasks so it's easier to organize. And I'm going to show you examples of migrating your tasks as well. So let's jump right into it.
First, we're going to talk about the yearly spread. This is the place to record important events that you have throughout the year, such as big meetings, birthdays, vacations, etc. I haven't done so here, but you can write the dates next to these events as well if they are known. Some people also include a mini calendar for each month that shows where the dates fall within the days of the week. It's a place to refer to when you're creating your monthly spreads, and it's a place to write down your plans for the year as they're made, so that you don't forget about them later on. Next, let's talk about the monthly spread. This is a very basic layout of a monthly spread with the dates and corresponding days of the week written along the side of the page. When filling out your monthly spread, first it's a good idea to refer to your yearly spread and transfer over any events from that month. Then add in any other events that you need to that may have not been included in your yearly spread. As part of your monthly spread, you can also include a place to write down your goals. I've done this on the right-hand side. This page can be used to inspire your weekly and daily tasks if your goal is something that can be digested into smaller pieces. It was at this point in filming that I realized the edge of my candle was turning black and smoking a lot, and it might be a fire hazard. Next, I'm going to introduce the idea of a running list. Typically, this is something that is created weekly. We'll come back to the habit tracking page a little bit later. For the basic layout of my running list, I've written the days of the week as a header on the left-hand side of the page, and the right side will be used to write down tasks for the week. This can include tasks that need to be completed every day, or tasks that you have specifically planned for a certain day or days of the week. You can refer to your monthly spread. Is there anything you wrote down that week that needed to get done? Or is there a specific goal that you want to work on this week by completing specific tasks? You can also write chores on here, or bi-weekly meetings, or things that you need to do as soon as you start work every day. I'm going to be showing you two ways you can lay out this list. On the right, write the task. For option 1, you can go to the weekly tracker on the left and gray out any of the days where this task does not apply. Is this a recurring task on weekdays? Sundays? Predetermine this and then gray out the days where you don't need to worry about it. Option 2 is to do the same thing, but instead of graying out the days when you aren't worried about completing said task, include a checkbox only on the days where the task applies. You can decide for yourself which layout makes the most sense for you. We'll see this spread in action in a little bit. Next in your planning adventure will be the weekly spread, but first, let's talk about the bullet journal symbol key. A key is typically included in the beginning of the journal as a reference, and it is used in your journal to denote tasks, appointments, events, thoughts, and notes. There are set symbols for whether a task is started, done, or if it's being moved to another day. The layout of a key can vary depending on what your bullet journaling needs are. Now let's start using it. To fill out your weekly spread, use the symbols in the key as needed to write down what's going on during your week. You can include events and appointments from your monthly spread as well as tasks from your running list. Once completed, you'll have your week at a glance. If you think of tasks throughout the week, you can add them to your running list, or you can include a to-do box on your weekly spread as I've done here. Also, feel free to adapt your weekly spread as the days go on and you make plans. Next up, the daily spread. What I like to do for a daily spread is just a free-form list for each day. Typically, I would not plan any other pages in advance, like the running list for the next week on the right, but I have it there just for the purpose of today's video. This is because I don't know how long each day's list will be. For the daily spread, it's just a log of your day. You can transfer all of your to-dos and events from your weekly spread and your running list, and you can expand your tasks into subtasks if needed. As the day goes on, you can check things off your list and add notes about your day. After all, bullet journaling is meant to be a log of events in your life. Either as you go or at the end of the day, you can also take a look at your weekly spread and running list to see what you can check off. Let's say on this particular day you didn't get to do your laundry, so you want to migrate it. At the end of the day, you can add the arrow symbol to any tasks that you need to migrate to a later date. Then, when you're preparing your journal for the next day, add these migrated tasks to your daily list. You can also add it to your weekly spread, especially if you can't move it to the next day, but it needs to be moved to later in the week. You can also add in tasks as your week builds. For example, if you schedule an appointment for later that week, make sure you add it in. Then, this process continues each day. Make your daily spread, migrate any tasks that weren't completed, check your weekly, check your running list, record your ideas. At the end of the week, you can evaluate if there is anything else that needs to be migrated to the next week. For example, if I didn't get to plan or film my video and those tasks are migrated without a new location yet, I know to include them in my weekly to-do list for the next week. At the end of the month, you can evaluate whether you've met your goals. If some goals are still needing work, then you can include that information in your next monthly spread. The process begins all over again the next month. Check your yearly spread for important events, add what you need to, migrate any goals, and then make your first running list and/or weekly spread of the month before you move into daily lists. Again, you don't need to use all of these spreads if you don't want to. It all depends on how much space you need and what visually makes the most sense for you. The last thing we're going to talk about briefly is habit tracking. To design a habit tracker, all you need to do is write the dates along the top for the month and leave space on the side to write what habits you want to track. They can be habits about spending, health, mindfulness, anything. Each day, simply check off what habits you have stuck with or completed to get an overall view at the end of the month on whether your habits are where you want them to be. This space can also be used for recurring daily tasks.
Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that this helped you understand more about the basics of using your bullet journal. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment below if you have any thoughts on the video or suggestions or anything to add to what I have said. See you next time.